feel bad for kids growing up in this generation. Because when I was a kid, I had really good cartoons like Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, Danny Phantom, Fillmore, Recess, and Hey Arnold. Nowadays, kid shows, in my opinion, aren't the best compared to what I grew up with. Hey everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10 and welcome to today's video. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 Scary Paw Patrol theories. Now, for those of you who don't know, Paw Patrol is a child show about a group of pups and their leader, Ryder, who complete missions to protect their town, Adventure Bay. This group refers to themselves as Paw Patrol. Although this is a harmless show for kids, people always find a way to turn everything darker. So let's dive right into this video and check out some of these scary theories. Starting off at number 10, we have the Missing Pup. When the show first started out, there were only 7 main Paw Patrol pups. Now, in the episode Pups Get a Rubble, you learn more about the character Rubble and see him join the team. When he joins the team, he gets the truck that has the number 6 written on it. Each pup gets their own vehicle with their own number on it. What everyone is trying to figure out is who the truck driver was before Rubble. They had 7 vehicles, but only 6 pups before recruiting Rubble. So where is this missing pup? People believe that this pup died during a mission and Rubble was its replacement. We have Ryders Parents. Now, Ryder is the team leader of Paw Patrol. He is the one that leads the team on their rescue mission and is the one that also invents all the gadgets that they use. But many people, including the parents of children who watch the show, are wondering where his parents are. Like, he spends all his days out with the pups and he's only 10 years old. Well, people believe that his parents are dead. They believe that they both committed suicide. Yet, they say that Ryder is happy all the time. Well, they believe that he stays happy and uses the pups and the missions as a distraction from thinking of his tragic past. I mean, I guess that would make sense to why we never see his parents. Or maybe they just didn't want to hire 2 more voice actors for the role. But you know what, that theory is more interesting. Coming in at number 8, we have the nuclear explosion. People believe that a nuclear plant used to be on Adventure Bay. A lot of people on Adventure Bay worked at this factory. Then one day the factory exploded and a bunch of parents were killed as a result. The people who weren't killed were the mayor, farmers, sea captain, and others who didn't work at the factory. This could be an explanation to why we don't see any parents around. Then it is said that the radiation from the explosion is what made the dogs talk. Next up at number 7, we have the switched brains theory. This theory surrounds the mayor of Adventure Bay, Mayor Goodway, and her pet chicken, Chickaletta. People believe that the mayor and her chicken have actually switched brains. This would explain the mayor's very interesting and quirky personality. But it also means that the town is being run by a chicken. Now, another thing that supports this theory is how the mayor erected a statue of her chicken. Don't mayors normally erect statues of themselves? Well, in this case, she technically did. Moving on for number 6, we have Ryder the Evil Wizard. Another very interesting theory. So people believe that the leader of the pack, Ryder, is an evil wizard that causes these accidents in town in order to be regarded as a hero. So here is some evidence to support this theory. When Ryder needs help, he summons the pups by pressing a button. All the pups' collars then light up and they all say, "Ryder needs us." Seems an awful lot like the protein charm used on Death Eaters so that Voldemort can summon them. Then you have the episode called Pup Saves a Merpup. In this episode, Captain Turbot asks the team if he can have a dog treat called Puppy Liver Link. Ryder gives him one, but the puppies say, "Don't eat too many or you'll turn into a pup." Well, look at that! Ryder has been feeding the puppies magic treats to keep them as dogs. And lastly, the mayor of the town's child has been magically turned into a chicken. The mayor is always seen with her chicken, Chickaletta. Well, that's because it's her child that Ryder turned into a chicken to teach her a lesson. Even in one of the episodes, you hear the mayor say, "Mommy's coming," when talking to Chickaletta. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the war zone. This theory surrounds the idea that Adventure Bay is a war zone. Now, they believe that all the adults have been drafted in the war. Well, again, that would explain why you hardly see any parents. But then you have some people that were left behind, like the mayor, the sea captain, a farmer. They didn't make the cut. Now, people believe that the sea captain actually once fought in this war. He now suffers from PTSD and that's why he's stuck rhyming all the time. It's his only way to form words after his traumatic experience. Continuing this theory, people believe that Ryder's parents were wealthy and intelligent technicians. They were sent to war to build advanced technology. However, before leaving, they built these dogs to respond in times of emergency. Now, before the dogs were built, they had prototypes, which was Mayor Goodway's chicken and Mayor Humdinger's cat, which is why they can understand English but not speak it themselves. Then, when his parents left, Ryder tried to make another dog, but he wasn't successful. That explains his robo-dog. At number 4, we have Ryders OCD. Another theory surrounding Ryder. Surprise, surprise. So this theory believes that Ryder has terrible OCD. His OCD is so bad that he needs to do the same activities daily in order to feel satisfied. That's why he constantly repeats the phrases, "I'm fired up," and "Paw Patrol is on a roll." This is also why he has never arrested Mayor Humdinger. Mayor Humdinger has committed several crimes like grand theft auto and destroying public property. However, Ryder won't ever lock him away because he needs to have the same routine of chasing him. In fact, this may be a reason to why most of the episodes follow the same pattern. There's an emergency, the pups are taken back to the tower to discuss it, they do their little chants, then they solve the case or whatever. Ryder just can't handle change. He needs everything to remain constant, even if that includes putting the pups in dangerous situations. At number 3, we have the Ryder is dead theory. In this other theory, the main character may be dead and this is just his version of heaven. Apparently, Ryder passed away from a sickness during his childhood. Maybe he wasn't able to do much as a kid from his illness, and now in his dream he is healthy and gets to go on the adventures that he never had while alive. He loves dogs, so in heaven he is constantly surrounded by dogs. Then he is able to help out people, which gives him a sense of worth. Again, he never was able to feel that as a kid since he was always bedridden. This also explains why there is an insane amount of money invested in the equipment that they are seen using. Other people believe that he isn't dead, but just in a coma and dreaming all about this. Next up at number 2, we have the military experiment theory. This theory believes that the pups and their town Adventure Bay is just one big military experiment. So basically, people are convinced that the dogs were created to talk and are constantly being trained. Ryder and the whole town is in on this. The residents are actors that set up missions for the pups to complete to test their worthiness. These are all funded by the government, which explains how they can afford all the expensive equipment. All these dogs have different skills, each vital to the military. And lastly, Adventure Bay has weird creatures like merpups, giant slugs, and giant octopi. These are all biological experiments by the government. That's definitely an interesting take on the show. I guess it would explain the weird merpup creatures that just seem totally out of place. And that giant slug? Ooh. And in our number 1 spot, we have the theory that the pups are actually all humans. Yep, that's right. People believe that the Paw Patrol puppies are actually humans trapped inside of the dogs' bodies. Now, how on earth did they come up with this theory? Well, all the Paw Patrol dogs can talk, but other animals like Callie the cat, Bettina the cow, Chickaletta the chicken, and Mandy the monkey can't talk. What other reason to this is there? Those animals can't talk because they're just normal animals. But the pups are humans. Now, another thing that supports this is the fact that the pups can also drive vehicles, a task only humans can do. And lastly, they are allowed in Mr. Porter's restaurant, a place where no animals can go inside. So they have to actually be humans. Okay, but how did these humans get transformed into dogs? Well, it is said that a mad scientist trapped 7 humans and 7 stray animals in his laboratory. From there, they were all hooked up to a machine. Then the child's brains were put inside the dog's body. Okay, now if that's true, does that mean that there are 7 children out there in the world that bark and act like dogs? Because I need to know. Starting off this countdown, we have the terrible incident. Now, just in case you don't know the show, let me just give you a really quick summary. It follows a bunch of puppies and their 10-year-old owner named Ryder. They all have the responsibility to look after their town and respond to any emergencies. Kinda get it? Okay, let's move on. So Twitter user DeVille Film came up with a theory as to why animals and a child are responsible for looking after the town. He believes that there might have been some terrible accident, maybe like a huge fire and a failed rescue that led to a large population of the town being engulfed in flames. As a result of this catastrophic event, the mayor literally goes crazy. I mean, she lost the town's fire department in this fire and her husband as well. That's enough to drive anyone insane. After that, she declares that no humans will ever be in charge of emergency services ever again. so she makes the dogs in charge with one sole leader. She does this as an attempt to prevent more of her citizens from dying. And you know, Chicolita, whatever her name is, her chicken that she's constantly seen with, well, she's convinced that the soul of her dead husband is inside that chicken. It's a pretty crazy theory if you ask me. Moving on at number 9, we have the imagination. If you guys are liking this video so far, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it really helps us out. Theory goes that this whole show is just one big hallucination made up by Ryder. He created this fantasy life where he is the hero to escape his bad home life. In reality, he has very neglectful parents. Half the time, he's left at home by himself with his stuffed animal dogs. So he spends his days playing with these toys and imagining a different reality. One where he's happy and saves his town. That explains why dogs are police officers and firefighters. It's because this whole thing is just made up in his head. In our 8th spot, we have the cursed town. So this next theory was created by Reddit user Fruit Bats. According to this theory, Adventure Bay, the town that they live in, is cursed. This is some supernatural curse that turns some adults into animals, and some other adults swapped brains with children. Let me explain. If you notice, the adults in town aren't the smartest. I mean, they're pretty dim-witted, and they often get themselves in ridiculous situations. And then a child has to come and save them. Well, that's because the children have been cursed to behave like adults and the adults to act like children. I mean, I'd rather be cursed into a dog than be an adult with a mind of a kid. Like, I don't know about you, that's just my personal preference. Moving on to number 7, we have the mayor's mind. Now for a theory about the kooky mayor, Mayor Goodway. So theory goes that Mayor Goodway is very unstable. I mean, okay, yeah, she's a little bit different. She literally can't go anywhere without her chicken, who she talks to, and apparently she understands what it's saying in return. But theory goes that the mayor is actually just imagining this all. Chicoletta, her chicken, is just an imaginary friend. It started when she was little. She was a shy gal that used a puppet to talk to others. The puppet was of a chicken named Chicoletta. As she grew older, she had to stop talking through this puppet, so she would cope by imagining that Chicoletta was still there with her. Okay, honestly, not gonna lie, it's a pretty solid theory. And at number 6, we have the aliens. Buckle your seatbelts, because this one is gonna take you on a ride. It's crazy. So Adventure Bay was created as a result of aliens coming down to that area. Let me explain. Aliens came to Earth and would blend in by transforming themselves to look like dogs. They had a machine that would allow them to do this. But when it was time to go, they accidentally left that machine in Adventure Bay. Then one day it was discovered by a group of people. They were fooling around with it and bam, they got turned into pups. Now aliens can turn back to their normal forms no problem. But since they were humans, it's a bit different for them, and now they're stuck as dogs for eternity. But if you had to be one animal for the rest of your life, what would you be? Let me know in the comments below. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the magical powers. So this theory suggests that Ryder isn't actually who we think he is, but he's actually a very intelligent man that has harnessed supernatural powers. Let me give you some evidence to support this theory. There was a Halloween episode that we see that Ryder has excessive human strength. In this episode, we see him lift a full grown-ass walrus off of the ground. In another episode all about pirate treasure, he pushes a huge rock out of the way. First off, no human can do this, especially not a child. And how is it that he's such an expert in driving and diving and engineering and he can fly a plane no problem? It's because he's not actually a young boy. He's some sort of sorcerer disguised as a wee lad. Those were times that he slipped up and exposed his true identity. That's also why Marshall has an unlimited water supply for his water cannon, just because Ryder can make anything that's impossible possible. In our 4th spot, we have the talking animals. Okay. So yes, I know, Paw Patrol is just a cartoon, and that's why the animals can speak. But bro, just have some fun and move past that for a second, okay? How come in the show only certain animals speak and certain animals can't? Like, hello, the mayor's chicken can't talk and it doesn't act like a human, but then you got the pups who act like a human and do human stuff, so what is going on there? Well, theory goes that the puppies are not real animals, but robots in disguise. But obviously if the town had robots running around, people would freak out. But puppies, everyone loves puppies. Then these robot dogs go and respond to all the town's emergencies, which they think is better because if a robot dies, like, oh well, they can just make another one or fix the old one. But if a citizen dies, then that's sad and everyone mourns. So the dogs or animals that talk in the show are actually robots. And our third spot, we have the authoritarianism. Someone analyzed the heck out of this show. I'm pretty sure it was just some mother that had way too much time on their hands. Anyways, the author of this theory suggests that the show is trying to promote authoritarianism. For starters, TV shows have a big influence on kids growing up, right? This show is about a world where obedient dogs do as they're told. The leader of the Paw Patrol pups is Chase. Everyone under Chase's orders do as they're told. Chase is then subservient to his boss, Ryder. Everyone behaves and does as they're told. One problem, Chase is a police dog. So the author believes that this show is trying to show that police are the main authority figures in society and they should not be questioned. You do as they tell you to and you never question their actions. And based on everything that's been happening this year and last year, we know that that's not the case. So it's sending a very bad signal to children depending on what your beliefs are. Moving on to number 2, we have the normality. Okay, so this next point comes from the same blog as the last. Basically, in season 2 of Paw Patrol, Chase becomes an intelligence agency surveillance officer. And in one episode, it shows Chase with a drone. These episodes were from 2014. Well, guess what? In 2014, the US government used drones to kill 1,147 people. Coincidence? Seems a little suspicious. But it doesn't stop there. The author believes that Paw Patrol is teaching kids that state surveillance is okay and normal, and that police doing these kind of acts is okay. The article said, and I quote, "Chase will be their first fictional representation of the police and the surveillance state we now live under. For society to have a chance at becoming more free and more democratic and less authoritarian, it cannot allow its youth to be indoctrinated to accept the surveillance state, the natural authority of the police, and the ubiquitous use of drones for surveillance and state-sanctioned murder." Yeah, they wrote that all. They got that all from a kid's show. It's insane. That's all I gotta say. That's insane. And in our number 1 spot, we have the stereotypes. Surprise, surprise. This was also a point touched on that last article as well. But honestly, I noticed this as well while watching a couple episodes. So in the first season and a bit, there's only one female member of the Paw Patrol team out of the 7 members. This is Skye. Skye is a helicopter pilot, but is seen wearing a pink uniform. They even pointed out that the uniform is smaller than the other Paw Patrol members. This displays that in order to be accepted into the workplace, you have to look traditionally feminine. Plus, really, she had to wear pink? Like, that's so stereotypical. Anyways, the other main female character in the show is Mayor Goodway. But she's portrayed as a complete fool. In fact, half of the time she panics and turns to the male characters to have her problems resolved. Also, her great-grandfather was mayor, suggesting that she got the position by it getting passed on to her, not because she got it by working hard for it. So again, this author believes that this show is reinforcing stereotypes and putting women in a negative light. Again, just a friendly reminder to be nice in the comments because this is just a show about theories. I don't like reading the comments about, it's just a cartoon show, all these theories are stupid. Like, have fun, relax a little, okay? And with that being said, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video, top 10 influencers who disappeared without a trace. Mobile Arsenal player commented, "If you see this, stay safe, healthy, and have fun outside, and happy late Easter." Oh, I love comments like this. And I send that all right back to you. Cosmic Wolf commented, "I watch MA Top 10 religiously. As a result, I love Lindsay Ivan. As a result of this comment, I love you, Cosmic Wolf." The Magical Balloon Man, I love these names, wow, commented, "You cannot copyright I will see you when I see you, okay? I've been honestly saying way before this show existed." Also, you said it wrong. You wrote, "I will see you when I will see you." That's not what I say. I say, "I'll see you when I see you." So that's two completely different slogans, catchphrases, whatever you want to say. So get your facts right, okay, balloon man? Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya. Copywriting that.